A week later, she's back on the bench. How does that happen? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me how does that happen? How does that happen in this day and age? And people wonder why we're losing faith in the legal system, or in the political system, everything.
All right.
New Hampshire Supreme Court Justice Anna Barbara Hans-Marconi returning to her seat on the bench on Wednesday with a smile on her face. Just a week after a court found her guilty of trying to influence a criminal case against her husband, New Hampshire Port Authority Director Gino Marconi.
Well, I think it's completely unprecedented. I don't think you could find a case anywhere where a judge engaged in such serious ethical violations and enters a plea to a criminal charge, and then 2 days later is back on the bench.
Well, she had to recuse herself from the first several cases.
For the record, Justice Hans-Marconi is disqualified in this case.
Hans-Marconi made it abundantly clear she was ready to be back at work.
Personal risk was the pulmonary embolism.
The charge against the justice stemmed from a private conversation that she had with then-Governor Chris Sununu. In a sworn affidavit, Hans-Marconi said that Chief Justice Gordon MacDonald had given her permission to meet with Sununu, but in court documents, MacDonald denied that.
It's very clear they did not want to bring witnesses in because they involve so many high-profile public figures. I mean, these are the highest public figures in the state.
This marks the first time in state history that a convicted criminal is sitting on the high court.
Is it though the first time? First time? At least in the country and the world? Probably not. Who knows?
Something
Here, we'll wind that again. YouTube rewind time.
Denied that.
It's very clear they did not want to bring witnesses in because they involve so many high-profile public figures. I mean, these are the highest public figures in the state.
This marks the first time in state history that a convicted criminal is sitting on the high court, something one former judge says raises serious concerns.
I mean, the ethical violations are the most severe kinds of ethical violations that a judge can face. It's not only is it unprecedented, it's unconscionable.
So this story came out October 7th. It's from Reuters. New Hampshire Supreme Court Justice Anna Barbara Hans-Marconi pled no contest to a misdemeanor, was sentenced to $1,200 fine after striking a deal to resolve charges that she attempted to interfere with a criminal investigation involving her husband. Well, that's what you call love. True love. So the judge was sentenced by Judge Martin Hohenberg in Merrimack Superior Court in Concord after pleading no contest to the criminal solicitation of misuse of position. The plea deal allowed her to avoid a trial where she faced the possibility of a felony conviction and prison time. Hans-Marconi, who is one of 5 Republican appointees on the 5-justice state high court, has been on paid administrative leave since July of 2024. Oh, that was a great July, and had a great time during that year. Her law license has been suspended while she was on leave as well. Following her plea, the New Hampshire Supreme Court issued an order ending her administrative leave and clearing the way for her to resume her judicial duties should she be reinstated to practice of law. She looks forward to getting back to work, her lawyer said in a statement. Oh, hey, dedication right there. They said she continued to disagree with the state attorney general's characterization of her actions, but wanted to bring the case to an end without the spectacle and possible damage of trial involving testimony by New Hampshire Supreme Court justices and other state officials. New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella, in a statement, said in the charge for which she was sentenced stemmed from a private meeting she arranged with then Governor Chris Sununu in June 2024 in order to obtain special treatment regarding an active criminal investigation involving her husband. The conduct was unlawful and unethical, and it undermines the confidence of our criminal justice system, he said. Today's conviction holds her accountable under the law. The case had until recently been slated to go into trial next month, and the state witness list included Sununu, a Republican appointed by Hans-Marconi in 2017, and New Hampshire Supreme Court Chief Justice Gordon MacDonald. Prosecutors, as part of the plea deal, agreed to drop the 2 felonies and 5 misdemeanors she was originally charged with in October of 2024. So there you go. Justice in this day and age. Justice. But she returns to the bench. And is that are we surprised by this in this country? We should not. I mean, I gotta tell you, even for somebody who lives in Illinois, city of Chicago, everything, I would never expect anything like this. I mean, hell, even Michael Madigan is serving time behind bars, but this is fascinating. And looking at how she's still back on the bench, do you have trust in the criminal justice system? I'll let you decide. Type 1 for Kit. My faith in the justice system remains true. I type 2. No, Kit. I'm too burnt out and jaded. But wow. Okay. She's back on. Warehouse 5 says, never have, never will. You win the day. As well as Pam K36 says, number 2. Everyone's getting a 2 in the chat. We got 2s in the chat, people.